Everyone. My name is Elise, and I am one of the BCBAs or Board Certified Behavior Analysts. We also have today Alex Brown. She's also another BCBA, Board Certified Behavior Analyst. And today we will be going over the RBT task list training. We'll just be doing the overview so that you're kind of aware of what's going on, what RBT means. So we have what is called our task list, and we'll review that later. So for our training norms, please feel free to write down any questions you may have, participate, role play, and make sure that you have your phone away unless you're using it in part of the training. Like I said, my name is Elise Rye and Alex Brown. We are the two BCBAs here at North College Hill. As a BCBA, we will be supervising the RBTs 5% of the hours that they implement ABA. So RBT stands for Registered Behavior Technician, and then ABA stands for Applied Behavior Analysis. So this is the science that we use to teach students skills and also to help reduce students' behaviors. So we have a little quiz here, just an overview and see what you know about being an RBT. So you'll see the link right here. You'll click on it, and once you click on it, you will take this quiz. Here is the code 456399. And after you take the quiz, we will then go over the results individually. All right. Feel free to pause the video to take that quiz and then come back when you're done. So next we will go over the RBT handbook, and we'll review everything that is inside of it. So as again, RBT stands for Registered Behavior Technician. We will send you a copy. This is very long. It's 39 pages, but it has everything that you need to know about becoming a Registered Behavior Technician. So this is under the Behavior Analyst Certification Board, the BACB. This is what the RBT license or RBT certification, and then our BCBA license is under. So this handbook has the requirements to obtaining as well as maintaining your RBT certification. If you view it online, it will have hyperlinks that will bring you to the actual BACB website if you need certain forms. So we have our overview, eligibility requirements, applying to become an RBT, the actual exam, certification maintenance requirements, and then some more resources down below. So starting off with our overview, it just describes the Behavior Analyst Certification Board, when it became about, how it works. Under that, it has the Registered Behavior Technician. So this is a paraprofessional certified in behavior analysis. RBTs assist in delivering behavior analytic services and practice under the direction and close supervision of an RBT supervisor. So that would be Alex and myself. So we would supervise, again, that 5% of the hours that you are implementing ABA here at school. We have the jurisdiction. So this is for throughout the United States. As a BCBA, we actually have a specific certification that is through Ohio. So allows Alex and myself to be able to be BCBA in the state of Ohio. And that is called our COBA. Another acronym you'll learn is a Certified Ohio Behavior Analyst. So this right here has reasons why you should become an RBT. It gives you a lot of knowledge. You're able to have more training. As an RBT, there are other employment opportunities in addition to being in a school. and it's actually the nation's first organization to certify behavior analysis professionals. This is something important that will help your job here and education with the children. Eligibility requirements to become an RBT. You must be at least 18 years old, have completed a high school level education or equivalent, pass a background check, obtain 40 hours of qualified training, and successfully complete an RBT initial competency assessment. So Alex and myself will be going over the 40 hours of training with you, and later we will show you how to record the training hours and what we did during those training times. Then we will, once the 40 hours are completed, you will do an initial competency assessment. This will be given interview style, role play style, and you with a student. The competency assessment will be everything that is on the RBT task list, which I will review later. Once you meet the eligibility requirements, you will submit an RBT certification, and that has to be no more than 90 days after your 40-hour training and initial competency. So once the initial competency is completed, you have 90 days to submit the application, and that is on the VACB's website. There's a hyperlink right here. Once your application is approved, you will then pass the RBT certification exam, and this is an exam that is online, but it will be at a facility unless COVID allows the exam to be or on your own computer. They have a lot of requirements with that, but so this exam it will show you what it's broken down to later. But once you have completed all of those, you do the competency, and here kind of is a visual of how to apply and pass the exam. So you'll use this information further down the line. These have the steps and then the person responsible on the right-hand side. There is a $50 fee to apply for the certification, and then a $45 fee to actually take the exam. North College Hill will provide reimburse you for the first test that you take. Any tests beyond that will be up to your up to you to pay. So the exam, it has 85 multiple choice questions. 10 are unscored pilot items. Each question will have a scenario and will have 4 possible answers. And you have 90 minutes or an hour and a half to complete this exam. Talks about how at the testing sites they have security requirements such as putting your phone away, checking your ID, those sorts of things. Then they will score it. And this outlines the content area that is on the task list, as well as the number of questions per each content area. So, for example, A is all about measurement. It will have 10 questions. Assessment will have 8. Skill acquisition will have 24. Behavior reduction will have 12 questions. Documentation and reporting has 10. And professional conduct and scope of practice will have 11. And this will have 75 questions, and then there's the additional 10 unpiloted questions. And this will kind of give you a graph of how that is broken down. This handout has some sample exam questions. That way you can kind of see what is expected or what will be on the exam. So if you would like to go through those, you can. There is a section for accommodations and requirements with the actual exam. Let's scroll down to the next part. If you need to reschedule, retakes, there's all information right there. After passing the exam, you will receive an email within 24 hours. And once you become an RBT, Alex and myself will approve you and then put you on our license. This means that we are responsible for your actions. So this is something that we do not take lightly, and we will supervise the minimum of 5% of your hours and make sure that you're maintaining the professionalism, the ethics, and having this high skill level that we expect. So this has the certification maintenance requirements. So every year you will have a competency assessment that Alex or myself will complete to ensure that you are competent in all those skill areas, as well as you are maintaining your ethics. And this is something that you'll have to turn back into the BACB website every year. All right, so this is supervision requirements. So you will practice only under a BCBA, Alex or myself. You cannot represent yourself as an RBT if you do not have a supervisor. Appropriate activities that you may perform are all of those listed on the RBT task list, which we'll go over later under our supervision. And we will, us as supervisors, will have a discretion to determine if you are competent to perform any activities outside of this task list. So as previously mentioned, we will supervise 5% of the hours per month. So it is your responsibility to determine the number of hours that you're providing behavior analytics services per each month. And Alex and myself will make sure that are getting adequate supervision. So here are possible supervision activities: developing performance expectations, observing, providing behavior skills training, delivering performance feedback. We may model, we may problem solve together, making ethical decisions. We may review your written materials, such as your data collection, your progress notes, graphing. We may oversee and evaluate the effectiveness of your behavior analytics service delivery, and we will provide ongoing evaluation of the effects of supervision. So with supervision, this is an important thing to remember right here. Per month, we will have to have 2 face-to-face real-time contacts. This cannot occur over the phone or via email. This can be if in real time, such as Google Meet, can be an acceptable form of face-to-face. But we can also review videos of you with your client, also known as your student. We have to observe you with a student in at least one of those monthly meetings. And it talks about the webcams or video conferencing. It's accepted. We can meet individually or a small group, but the 2 face-to-face or one of the 2 face-to-face sessions has to be with an individual or a student. So this kind of gives a little visual. This is Alex and myself, and you would be down here once you pass the exam. Another visual. If you are not supervised, you are not allowed to represent yourself as an RBT. If there's a certain period of time where you are not able to be an RBT actively, you can apply for voluntary inactive status. Again, that's on the BACB website, and this hyperlink right here will take you to that. If you're not sure you're meeting the supervision requirements, that's something that you can discuss with us, but we will have a form that it will be your responsibility to fill out and our responsibility to check and make sure it's accurate. You can report to the board, the BACB board, if you are not meeting your expectations or the expectations of an RBT, or if you believe that your supervisor is not meeting supervision expectations or requirements. It's important that you and Alex and I document each time we supervise and meet. This will, again, be falling into both of our laps of responsibility. It'll have the date, the time, or duration of the supervision, if it was one-on-one or group. and the name of the supervisor. And we can add additional information as well, such as the content or feedback given. You and Alex and myself must maintain these supervision documents for at least 7 years. And in the state of Ohio, it's actually 12 years. But according to the RBT handbook, it is at least 7 years. The BACB can audit RBTs, former RBTs, BCBAs, and then it will have a page of how that actually works. So that's why it's super important to complete all your documentation. Along with the RBT task list, we have an RBT ethics code. This has 31 different elements that you are expected to follow. They're organized into 3 different sections. It has responsible conduct, responsibility to clients, and competence and service delivery. Again, if you are violating an ethics code, you can self-report, and then it gives you information about how to do that. We will have our own video and training on the RBT ethics code. We will go into depth with different scenarios at a later time. This is the annual renewal of your RBT information. So remember, every year the BCBA will complete a competency assessment to make sure that you're maintaining these skills and ethics. And it has the steps and who is responsible on the right. And then it goes into more depth about voluntary and active status. Maybe you are on medical leave or maternity leave or something like that, where you want to keep your RBT certification, but you need to put it in inactive status. This would be more information on how to do that. This has administrative appeals, documentation. This just states that you cannot have any false, forged, or untrue information given to the EACB. And then this down here is a really important guide. It has all of the resources for you. So it has a task list, what the initial competency assessment looks like, an RBT 40-hour training packet, the exam pass rates, if that's something that you're interested in, the exam information, ethics, ongoing supervision, renewal, voluntary inactive status, and any administrative appeals. Down below, it has a glossary of different terms that may be helpful to review. And then we have the appendix. So this would be an important handout for you to print and keep, as well as having one available to you online is helpful, so that you can use those hyperlinks to go to the website and to get documents. All right, so that was the RBT handbook. Next, I want to talk a little bit briefly about what ABA is, or Applied Behavior Analysis. So it's a scientific and evidence-based approach to teaching socially significant behaviors and decreasing unwanted or undesired behaviors. So some socially significant behaviors could be communication. It could be diving into communication. It could be requesting items, requesting people. It could be labeling different items, like teaching someone to label what the letter A is. Social skills are something that can be taught with ABA. Teaching to greet, teaching to share. Daily living skills such as hand washing, going to the bathroom, tying your shoe. These are all different socially significant behaviors that we can teach. Different types of behaviors that you would want to decrease could be aggression, physical or verbal aggression, could be eloping or running away from a person or designated area. These are things that we would want to decrease. At the end, we will give you an AKA reference guide, because with ABA, there are a lot of acronyms that are going to be stated and very important for you to know. So we have a reference guide at the end that we will share with you, so you can review because there are a lot of terms that mean the same thing, and so that is why there's a lot of acronyms. So it can get kind of complicated, but we'll give you the reference guide. So the RBT task list has 6 sections, and these will be what you will perform as an RBT. So the first section is measurement. This will be like data collection, graphs. We'll have different assessments we may have you take, like preference assessments, maybe some type of curriculum assessments. The third section, or section C, is skill acquisition, and that talks about how to teach a student a skill. There's prompting, different things like discrete trial training versus natural environment training. Then we have section D, behavior reduction. This would be on how to reduce certain behaviors. Then we have E, documentation and reporting. And then F is professional conduct and scope of practice. We will have different videos for each to break it down for you. I think it would be important to have your task list in front of you. That way you can reference what we're talking about. All right. And that is the end of our RBT overview. I hope it was thorough. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Alex and myself. Thank you.